Hey guys, I'm Dennis. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna talk about a topic that is a little bit different than photography because today we're gonna talk about the water fasting that I just did. I did water fasting for 3.5 days, so 80 hours. And I will share with you my tips and tricks, my emotions and everything that I went through that helped me on this journey. Okay, so quick introduction. What is fasting? No food. So you don't consume any kind of food it depends on how many days you will do it. And in this time, you're allowed actually just to drink water or tea. Yeah, so no food, just water and tea. There are definitely some things that I would do different if I would have to do it for the second time. So before you do that, I would suggest to watch the video till the end because maybe you will learn something. Okay, so first of all, let me clear this. I'm not a doctor. I just read a lot of articles about it. I listened to a lot of podcasts and I watch plenty of YouTube videos about water fasting. So I educate myself, if you can say it like this, and I knew exactly into what I'm going. So why I did this water fasting? I did water fasting mainly because I wanted to just see how my body reacts, and I wanted to kind of like give a break to my digestive system and to just see how everything performs. And because I heard there's like a lot of positive effects on your mental and body health. So I said, okay, just give it a try and let's see how it goes, I also have to say that so far I don't have any kind of problem with nutrition. And I didn't do this fasting because I would want to lose weight or like fats. I just did it out of curiosity, if you say it like this. How I did it? Actually pretty simple. The only thing that I did drink was water or tea. Probably like 20% of the water and 80% of tea. Let's go straight into tips and tricks. My tip number 1 would be prepare your body and mind into the fast. I'm doing intermittent fasting since the last 4 years. So that means that my body is kind of like used to the intermittent fasting. My body is not really stressed when I don't eat food for a couple of hours. Usually I do intermittent fasting for 18 hours, 18 and 6. So that means that in a window of 18 hours, I would not eat. And then in a window of 6 hours, I would consume everything. When it comes to the prepare your body, because I think it's super cool if you would want to go into this water fasting, at least try intermittent fasting for at least a week. So your body kind of gets into that. So it's not really like constantly seeking for food. And I think that the shock and stress for the body would be much less if you're already used to intermittent fasting than as if you would normally just eat and then just out of nothing, you would just not eat anything. So that's my tip number 1. And also when it comes to prepare your mind, I think it's super important that you know what you're gonna go through. Of course, if you never experience that, you cannot really know what you will go through. But like mental preparation, it's also really important that you feel like ready. Okay, now I'm ready. Now I have to do it. And then you just like execute, bomb, and that's it. Okay, so tip number 2. When I was reading about water fasting, I also read that you can either do like just with water or tea, or like of course infused water. And then on some other articles I read that you can also do it with a coffee. Like after my deep research, I still think and I came to the conclusion that I really want to do it like pure. So that's why I skipped coffee. And you know me, I'm like coffee addict number 1. So I said, okay, if I'm doing this, I have to do it clean. So I stay away from coffee. And the only thing that I consume was water and tea. And also be careful when you buy tea. I didn't know that there in some teas are also sweeteners. So just try to just buy one really good herbal tea. Okay, so tip number 3. This is a very important tip. And I have to say that it really helped me a lot because it helped me just to clean myself from the inside, if you know what I mean. You should consume salt. It's like a special kind of salt. I will link it down below. I bought this salt in a pharmacy. You can just get it like for 3 years. I think it's super cheap. So for my body weight, which I have like 78 kilograms, I use I think between 15 and 20 grams of salt, which are like crystals. And I would just mix them with 200 milliliters of warm water. And you should mix it all together. It's super salty, disgusting water. And you should just drink it first thing in the morning. So what would that do is the salt will just it's pretty fascinating because your body will kind of realize that that's not drink, but because it's super salty and it's kind of warm, that's how I read, the body checks this kind of thing as food. So it goes straight into your digestive system and it cleans, it's like you drink that and you go back to the laptop, you work a little bit, And then all of a sudden, like everything between half an hour to 2 hours, they say, or 3 hours. And it's like, okay, I have to go to the toilet. That means now. So I would suggest to do that every day. So I did that on day 1 in the morning. First thing when I woke up, you go to the toilet. And day 2, same thing. When you wake up, you drink that, the same kind of amount. Then of course you have to drink also a lot of liquids, but this is the first thing that I would drink. So that means really, like it really stimulates the digestive system that you have to go to the toilet. And just the feeling after that, I think it's like super satisfying because you really have a feeling that you're clean from the inside. And that's the purpose of fasting as well. So you want to give like your digestive system like a kind of reset or restart, and do it every day. So next tip. That's also a really important tip. If you're planning to be like active in sports, I would really suggest you to consume some electrolytes, the minerals and the magnesium, because if not, your muscle cannot really function properly. And that's also a really important tip because on the day 3, I went for a hike. We were hiking for 4 hours and it was not an intense hike, but still it was like my day 3 without a food. And I was kind of like skeptical because I was not really sure if I'm going to make it without a food. So I just took, just in case, some food with me. But then at the end, I didn't eat it because I realized that I can do it. But then on the next day, I had such a big pain in my calves. And that was, of course, because of without minerals and magnesium, like literally my calves were hurting for 3 days. Today's the 3rd day and after the fast, and I can still feel my calves like a little bit sore. So magnesium, electrolytes, and minerals, these are very important. This is the tip that I didn't do. But if I would go again through this fast, I would definitely organize some mineral water because it has minerals inside, right? I didn't do that, but I think that's pretty smart and pretty easy solution as well. Okay, my next tip would be drink a lot. So that means really, 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 really a lot. My memory from the fasting days, I just had a feeling that I was drinking every 5 minutes, and honestly I didn't even have to go to the toilet that much. I mean, like to pee a lot. I just think that your body is like just so busy with water and tea that I think it really helps you to kind of stay awake and helps you to not realize that you're that hungry. And I have to say for myself, I wasn't that hungry at all. It's just the first day. We'll come to that later. But I think drinking a lot, it really helps you to just like be in your focus and not really think a lot about food. Okay, so my next trick and tip would be active. Like I said, I was pretty active during these 3 days. I had a lot of work. And when I was not working, I was like doing some kind of different sports. Like I said, the first day I went for a walk and did yoga. And then the second day, first I did yoga. Then I was playing tennis for half an hour with the wall because, the restrictions, everything is closed. And then I went for another walk and I did like 8 kilometers. So I was really busy. And then afterwards I was working for a lot, like, I don't know, like probably 8 hours. This is where the magic comes. Like if you don't consume, you have so much more energy kind of, and so much more focus because you have to know that when you are digesting everything, your body uses a lot of energy to digest this food and to process everything that you intake. So without eating, you definitely have more time to work. You can focus so much better. I had a feeling that I could really do like multitasking like so much better. I was editing photos and I was writing emails, and then I did a project in Photoshop. And then next to it, I was listening to podcasts about fasting, about everything. And I was so focused, it was amazing. And day 1, day 2, and day 3 as well. So that was really a big surprise for me. So stay active and don't be on the sofa and just wait that the fasting is over, because I think it's going to be much more harder for you. Okay, so my next really important tip would be learn a lot about it before you do that. You have to know that everybody is different, and you have to know that everybody will react different to the fast. So education, I think it's a key here. I was interested into fasting, into water fasting for the last 2 years. And after 2 years of like research and just like really diving really deep into this theme, I realized, and I came to that point that, okay, I want to do it right now. I don't know if you have any kind of disorders with food or anything that you are, I don't know, like thinking about it, that you're not really sure, then maybe just like search for advice with one expert. I'm not an expert, like I said, so just maybe before you really go into it, it's like a stress for the body. So just be prepared to kind of search for the help or search for advice. And I think there are a lot of experts already outside. Work on yourself. So, you're giving your body kind of a break. Of course, you don't eat. Your body goes into the stress level. But like through the generations, that, I don't know, like 1,000 years ago or 500 years ago, like we were not used to snack every 3 hours. So our bodies, they were used to starving. They were used not to eat food. So it is this like last couple of, I don't know, 50 or 100 years, let's say 50 or 60 years, even less probably, that we are eating so often. So in that time that you don't eat, just take it as a mission that you work on yourself. So I was also like reading a lot. In that time when I was fasting, I was doing like a meditation, and I really took time for myself. And also, I think it was also really helpful that I was alone, because I don't know, it was just like time for me, and I took it for myself. And I think that's also really important that you work on yourself, right? Because I think it's super hard then if you do this kind of fasting, and then next to it your girlfriend cooks a dinner for her, and then you smell the food, and then you're gonna go through a lot of stress because of course you're getting hungry, and you don't want to do that. So maybe just really take time for yourself. I know not everybody can just like have their own apartment for a couple of days, but I think that would be a really good tip to just like be on your own, or like maybe do it together. That's also a really good solution. So you like really kind of push each other. Okay, so next thing is I'm gonna answer some questions that my followers wrote me on Instagram, because I put it like a box and everybody could ask some questions that I would answer them here. Okay, so first question: how many times a day do you use the toilet? Of course, like I said, the first day I drink that salt water, I had to go straight to the toilet. It was like, run. I think the first day I went like probably like 3 times, and then the second day like 1 time, of course again after the salt, and then the third day like I think 2 times. And that's also pretty impressive, because you have to think about it. I wasn't eating anything for the last 3 days, and then on day 3 I still had to go to the toilet. I mean, it was because of the salt water, and that's exactly the benefit of this salt water, that you have to drink it every day. If I wouldn't drink salt water, I think I wouldn't have to go to the toilet after day 1, because there would be no more food in the guts. So salt really makes you like clean everything, clean the pipes, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's it. Run. What changed the most from your habits, behavior when you were doing the fast? Like I said, probably I was really more focused. Like my vision got like super clear. I knew exactly what I wanted to do, and I don't know, like I was just like in a really good mood. Like all the time I was not grumpy at all, because I was expecting me to be a little bit grumpy because I was not eating food, right? This is the only thing that really changed it. I was like super focused, because usually, like I work an hour, then I go to the kitchen, then I eat something, and I come back. Yeah, you know how it is, like you get like so distracted with the food. So I think, and I found myself a couple of times I was working, and like just in my subconscious I was thinking, okay, I have to go to the kitchen now, and I came to the kitchen, then I realized, okay, I'm not allowed to eat. Then I made a tea, and then I came back. So it's like, yeah, I think that was the most funniest thing, I would say. Yeah, and also one behavior, I realized I was not sleeping a lot actually. So the first day I was sleeping like 7 hours, and I went to bed without an alarm clock. And the second day I was sleeping for 6 hours, and then like the day 3 I was sleeping again for 6 hours. So in general I was planning to do like 72 hours, so that's exactly 3 days that I planned that I would do my fasting till Sunday evening. And then on Sunday evening I felt so good that I said okay, and I was not really hungry at all. Yeah, that's also the thing that really surprised me. I wasn't hungry during 3 days. I wasn't hungry at all. The only day that I was like a little bit hungry was the first day. So there was exactly 24 hours when I was on the sofa watching Netflix. That was the only time that I was kind of a little bit hungry. Then day 2, day 3, and day like I don't know, I was not hungry, and that was the thing when I was like super surprised. Probably it comes 100% sure it comes also like that my body is used to intermittent fasting, and also that my mind was kind of prepared to go through these kind of extremes. What did you consume during the fast, and what to eat after, and did you feel weak at any point? Okay, so that's a really good question. So during the fast, like I said, I didn't consume anything, just water, tea, and in the morning was 1 glass of salt. That's it. So the first thing after I ate, after the 80 hours of fast, I also did a really big research, because I was kind of like, a little bit unsure what to eat. So after day 3, I had to go like with the train somewhere away on a project. And I went to the supermarket and I just bought fruits and smoothies. So the first thing that I ate was on Monday morning after 80 hours. All right, quick update. So far, I ate 2 bananas. So the first one I ate at 8 o'clock. The second one I ate like half an hour later, just like a little break between. And I ate like a couple of dates, which were so good. Like I never had dates that were that good. And also banana was just like super intense. I think this fast like really makes you appreciate food way more than you usually do. Next question, if I felt weak at any point. Like I have to be honest, I was really surprised how my body is like managing with this kind of fasting. Like I was not feeling weak at all. That's my physique update. I think I lost quite a lot of fat. I mean, I was already ripped before. The only time that I felt weak was, maybe it was like when we came back from the hike and I sat down on the sofa and I knew that in 2 hours I have to already leave to the project. At that point, I felt a little bit tired, but that's normal because we were walking for, let's say, 3 or 4 hours and we were in the mountains and, the fresh air and snow and everything. And at that point, I felt a little bit tired, but I don't know, I drank only a little tea and I went on. So I also didn't have really time to be kind of weak. But probably if I wouldn't have to go to the project, I would definitely make a power nap then. So that was like on day 3. So that was the only time that I felt kind of weak. So Marie asked me, when is the best time to do fasting? So it really depends like in which kind of state of mind you are at the moment. And also depends, of course, that how you are looking at fasting. I think if you look at the fasting as a temporary solution for losing a couple of kilos, I don't know, I cannot say because that was not my case, but I think the best time is that you really get, first of all, like you get a lot of knowledge about it. Then you're probably like you should seek some advice for some experts if you're still not sure if you should do it. And I think then you are kind of ready. And of course, I would definitely recommend one more time to just try it out first with intermittent fasting, so your body gets used to it. Okay, so Lara asked me on which day it was the hardest for me. Like I said, the hardest for me was on day 1. And actually I think that's like the day where your body realized, okay, there is no food and the body has to switch to the ketones. So that means that it would just like switch to the energy source. So at that point I was on the sofa and I realized, okay, I really want to eat something right now. And then I just drank, like a liter of tea and then it was okay. Then Anya asked me if I took any additional vitamins or magnesium. Like I said, I didn't do it. If I would do it again, I would definitely take magnesium because my legs were destroyed after the hike. Can this be dangerous with water but no food? Could be fainted? Absolutely, 100% sure. It's not, I mean, I don't know, for me it was not dangerous, but of course if you're not used to it, and if you don't really know what you are really going into, it could be dangerous, 100% sure. Couple of videos that I listened and I found it really interesting, I would just pop down in the description box down below, so you can just like walk it through, and especially the one from Dr. Eric Berg, I don't know how you pronounce his name. He did really like a good video. All right, guys, so that was it. I didn't answer to all of the questions, but like just like in general, I did, I think, the best ones. And because I don't want to do a video 1 hour long about my preparations. So that was it about fasting. I just realized now that because I felt so good after that I'm going to really do it like at least 2 times or 3 times per year. Just like to give my body a break and to just like kind of reset it all over. And I think it's just so much more interesting things to be discovered about our body and our mind and about everything that it's pretty fascinating. All right, guys, thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, write me down in the description box or just hit me up in the Instagram. We connect there. All right, thank you. Bye.